Why did you run for the position?
I ran because I obviously really interested in SGA. I've been on SGA for 2 years already, and I saw that the current structure of SGA and the system, how it works, isn't really the best system, I think. And our current SGA vice president did a really good job, I think, of in his campaign getting the word out, and sort of he won, and that was great, got in touch with a lot of people, got people really excited about some issues, but then I'm not sure if he really followed up on any of that. So I wanted to kind of take over and fix some of the internal problems in SGA along with some of the external problems. I know a lot of people have problems with SGA, and that's totally fine. I understand that. And I think I have the experience of being on SGA for 2 years to be able to work with students, organizations, clubs, and such to actually fix the problems that they have in it, and also work on external relations as a vice president. So.
What do you think some of those internal problems are?
Well, this year we have a lot of young senators, which is really exciting, and but because they're so young, they need to kind of get experience and sort of see how the best way to work with the administration is. Connor, I think, did a great job of working with the administration, but he sort of left the training of young people up to the vice president and the chairs and things like that, and there never really was a top-down structure. There never really was any guidelines or priorities for senators, chairs, anything like that. So I want to put those in place and work with the young senators and make them capable, so that it's not just my senior year, I'll be gone, so it's just 1 year. So I have to do something to leave a lasting impression. I have some ideas on my platform for projects and things like that, but I would really like to change the nature of SGA and how it works so that it is fixed at least a little bit more going into the future in the next couple of years.
What are your plans as VP?
Well, okay, the first thing I really want to do is finish fixing the Blurpit software that we had. Blurpit failed because the people that were running it graduated, and the transportation and parking tried to contact them, but they graduated, they don't care. So I think a lot of students really use that software, or wanted to, and it obviously doesn't work now. So we need something that's a little more sustainable than just students who make a program for maybe 1 or 2 years while they're here, and then it runs out when they leave. So I started looking into contracts with different companies and things, and working with sales reps is always fun. So I got in touch with other colleges, student governments around the country, and had them look at their books and see what they were actually being charged for different services and things like that, and then did my own work with the sales reps for different companies. And in November, we finally got a contract drawn up with a company called Double Maps, and then it went through the administration, and they wanted to get other price quotes from different companies and all that, which is totally fine. But so those are finally done, so hopefully we can actually move on and implement that and incorporate that into campus safety, something I worked on with police services. And I really want to keep working on developing the job fairs and the career center and the hub and things like that. So those are sort of my 3, I guess, big things other than internal SGA management.
How do you picture UVM looking after your time?
Well, hopefully it's better, and hopefully people are a little more happy, even if it's just having bus tracking or having a better career center to go to. But really, I think the big thing as a VP is making SGA inviting for people and having it be a place where students actually want to take their problems to. And I think that is actually the vice president's role, and I think the president should work with the VP to take those ideas and kind of run with that. But I think that the task of being open and making an open SGA atmosphere falls on the vice president.
What are you excited for?
I'm really excited to start working on this, and I'm really excited to kind of be in charge of human resourcing on campus. There's a lot of committees, like dean advisory committees and things like that, they get filled by the deans, and then they just sort of, they advise the dean, but they don't meet with anybody else, and none of that sort of comes full circle with any other people. So I'd really like to just sort of coordinate as many student committees and groups and organizations and things like that, so that we're all on the same page. I think we all agree that like we would like better academic advising, things like that. So it would look much better if, say, I could get in touch with all the committees of the dean's advisory committees, tell them all the same thing, and they all go to the deans at the same time with the same issues, and they'd be like, oh my god, there's a conspiracy going on or something, and I think there would actually be some real like campus-wide movement. We have 7 different schools and colleges, so sometimes it's hard to get like one single, issue going across throughout all the colleges. So I think just sort of things like that, and sort of bringing together all sorts of different organizations that probably are working on the similar goals or similar projects, and kind of making them work together, because I think that's when the administration really starts to see, or really starts to acknowledge that there's a problem. It's not when there's just SGA comes to them with a problem, where they have like all sorts of other groups and organizations that aren't SGA affiliated.
What are you nervous for?
What am I nervous for? Well, I guess I'm nervous that I will run out of time before I get all this done, because I am graduating at the end of next year. So hopefully, I'm also nervous that if I do get all these things accomplished, that the next VP may drop the ball. I am nervous about that, but hopefully somebody else after me will step in and do a great job, and hopefully I can do a great job in my year. So,
what was your reaction to learning you had won as VP?
Relief. I was really excited. Obviously, there was nobody else on the ballot, but there were a lot of other people who were in and out of the vice presidential race. And when I finally did get it, I was really relieved and really excited.
Why did you come to UVM?
Why did I come to UVM? Well, I'm from southern Vermont, from Clarendon, which is a little outside Rutland. And I've been going to Burlington all the time since I was a little kid, and seeing UVM basketball was always my favorite. And just when I was applying to colleges, my senior year of high school, I applied all over the East Coast, and I actually really didn't want to go here because a lot of people from my high school were planning on going here, and I think we all can kind of agree that you don't really want to spend that much time with everybody from your high school ever again. So, but then I got here, I went to visit with my best friend from high school. His sister was a senior here, and she had a really nice apartment on South Prospect, and we went there and I stayed the night, and she showed my friend and I like everything about campus. And then admitted students day was like the following day, so we got to see everything from her side and everything from like the tours and the admitted student side. And then I fell in love with it, and it was the most affordable, but I still love the school, so I'm glad I went here.
You mentioned the job fairs and career center. How are you planning to make those better?
Great question. So right now I sit on the career advisory board, which is a board put together by Abu Rizvi, the dean of the Honors College, Pamela Gardner, the director of the career center, and Annie Stevens, the vice provost. Those three kind of assembled a group of people, and I got put on that as an undergraduate student rep. And those three always have been really, Abu kind of started the process of the 4-year career action plan, I guess it's called, where you can go in and you take that with your advisor and you sort of fill things out, and not only just get your classes oriented, but try to like get you some actual career development, which I thought was really good, because when I came here as a freshman, we didn't have that. And that was something I was really concerned about is, I'm a history major, but what am I going to do with a history degree when I graduate? I think I have a pretty good idea about that, but I think a lot of students don't. So that sort of development was really exciting for me, and I'm glad that I got a part of that. And so I really look forward to working with the three of them and the board of trustees. Hopefully next year. I sat on the board this year in the vice president spot, so hopefully I can sit on the board again next year and keep working with them and tweak the job fairs a little bit. We used to have a job fair that was only for part-time jobs, summer jobs, and internships, and that was actually our most participated job fair, and then it got dropped. And I'm not really sure why that is, but I think that bringing something like that back would be a really good idea. And sort of being a vice president, I think I would be able to advertise that a little bit better than the Career Center would. So hopefully we can kind of grow that and just promote student awareness from our side and theirs.
How do you feel that you and I will work together as P and VP?
I think we'll work well. I've worked with Aya for a couple of years on SGA already. She was the chair. She was the chair of Cory. I was the chair of Student Action. We are actually working right now as chairs on doing a mental health awareness day, and so that was something that we've done together this year. But I think that we both know, because of our experience, we both know the roles very well, and I think that she knows what she needs to do as president to take student issues and bring them to the administration, and I will be able to bring those issues to the administration from internal workings with the SGA and sort of coordinating with all sorts of people around campus too. So she gets to sit at a lot of tables being president, and I'm going to try to get as many people at as many different tables as I can as vice president and sort of put people on committees and things like that to coordinate our message. So.